If your hips on the outside are tight or you have aches in them, maybe even in the upper leg, you might be struggling with a tight piriformis. Now, this is a bad view of it, but if we come down here, the piriformis is a muscle that ties into the very low back and goes around the outside of the hip. It's a hip external rotator, meaning it goes like this, okay? Now, this is one of the muscles that gets really tight on most people's lower bodies, so we have to stretch it if we want to release our hips and make our hips feel amazing. Let me show you how to do that right now. Okay, this is an amazing stretch for the piriformis. What you're gonna do is sit on the edge of the chair, bring your leg out straight like this, grab this ankle and cross it over your knee. Now for some people, this already might be a challenging stretch. That's okay. If that's the case, just make a tall posture and imagine just bowing forward towards your ankle to feel this deep stretch on the outside of the hip right here. If it's not a deep enough stretch when you first set up, then do this. Walk the foot up. The more you walk your foot up towards your body, the more you'll feel the stretch in the outside of your hip, these hip external rotators right here. Once you find a spot where it does feel tight, then you can grab this ankle, hold it in place, and if you want to, what I like to do is this. I like to drive my knee down with my elbow like this. That kind of helps open up the hip as you do this. Now, tall posture and hinge forward from the hips, trying to bring your chest towards your ankle. Very important here, we're not gonna round our back and have lousy posture while we're practicing this. Hinge forward from the hips means our entire spine, from the tailbone to the top of our head, moves forward in one position. Now hold this position, take a big breath in, and as you exhale, try to get your mind on your hip and just tell those muscles relax and go, and bow a little bit more forward. And repeat that breathing pattern. And then you, and try to relax those muscles for about 60 seconds. Now, once you've done that for 60 seconds, slowly come up, slowly extend the leg, slowly bring the leg down. We don't want a bunch of fast movement, we just stretch the muscle, and pause for a second and notice, how does that hip, how does that upper leg, how does the lower back feel on that side? Probably feels amazing, right? This is one of the best stretches you can do anytime, anywhere to loosen up the piriformis, the lower back, the glutes, etc. Now, make sure you go to the other side and stretch that one for at least 60 seconds as well before you go on to this next move that's gonna help you strengthen the piriformis while creating range of motion at the same time. Okay, this move right here is to strengthen those external hip rotators while creating range of motion. So you're gonna come to the edge of a seat, you're gonna bring your feet close together like this, not all the way together, but close together, and then bring your feet like right underneath your knees, okay? So vertical like this. Tall posture, and all you're gonna do now is you're gonna let the knees come to the outside, and then you're gonna try to drive the knees to the outside as far as you can while pushing the outsides of your feet into the ground. What you should feel is this. You should feel those muscles that you just stretched working to open your knees. So we're not passively yielding to gravity like we're doing in a stretch. We're trying to open our knees using these muscles to strengthen them and create range of motion at the same time. So what you're gonna do is this. Open them up, squeeze for a second or two, and then bring them back together. And then open them up, push the feet to the ground, squeeze for a second or two, and then bring them back together. And just like the last drill, we're gonna do this for 60 seconds, squeezing for just a second or two at the top of each rep, and repeat for 60 seconds, okay? Once you've done 60 seconds with that, shake it out, and you will have stretched your piriformis, you'll have activated those muscles, and you'll have worked your active range of motion in those muscles. So, if you have tight hips, a tight piriformis, a tight lower back, give this stretch and give this activation drill a shot, because guess what? It's going to make your body feel a whole lot better right now.